and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. In this tutorial, I want to look actually how we can enhance this image we already created before and add a little bit more realistic touch by creating modulation on a clouds with an offset on altitude. So we'll see like almost sand kind of dust going over our dunes. We'll use this cloud modulation to do this, and also we'll do this from scratch without using any meta nodes, so you can repeat if you need it at home for any other of your projects as well. And we will base this on our dune scenery. This was done with the world machine terrain. If you interested, you can check those ones, and previously texturing and atmosphere settings done in one previous tutorial of this. So we kind of base it on that preset and we continue enhancing this way. So right here is our terrain. One thing what we want to do, we want save height of this terrain. So I'm going to edit object, and this is standard terrain. In standard terrain you have export terrain options. Again, I have my preset, so we'll go export terrain, and I'm going to browse and just go back to my work folder. This is TFF. And just dune maps. So okay, we'll go 16-bit, so we have a nice smooth. Click OK, and this is saved now our map. This will be our base map that we will need to use it to work with the clouds. So to do this, we'll go to atmosphere, clouds tab, and we'll go loaded dense canvas layer. You can use it any other type of the clouds. This one will perform just one of the best. So next, I'm just double click to go in advanced material editor for these clouds. You can right click as well and select edit material, and right here we'll work with altitude offset, height modulation, and density. So right now altitude offset from the 0 point, we'll go and let's click drive with function. You'll notice at this point we have our preset, and right here is our altitude with a preset value. Instead, this value, what I want to do, I want to replace with the image, but not just a replace, I also need a link that position of this image to my terrain. So we kind of start linking, and let's do this one. But before, let's go inside the Photoshop, and we'll need make one small adjustment to our map. Okay, in Photoshop on our dune map, we need to go to image, adjustment levels, and we need to bring black and white. So we'll click after, and you can notice right here we have it. Let's click OK, and I'm going to save this in the same folder so we can reuse. But I want still open so we can reuse some of these effects for our next kind of step what we're going to do. Okay, now back to view. Let's go right here. I'm going to add, okay, right here we'll add project map. And one thing I want to be sure it's actually set to the texture map, because I want this input of UV coordinates. And I'm also can just select your altitude right here. Okay, next let's go ahead and preload our map. And right here I have my adjusted map, so we'll go load this inside. One thing I will switch to binary interpolation, so just remove some pixelization. It's not necessary in this case, but it's help us. Now I needed two inputs, and right here I'm going to set external dependency, two of them. The one will be my external dependency to my dunes position, okay, and this one will be mine set to the dunes size. So I kind of know now I have information about my dunes passing towards when I need to use it. Okay, next I'm going to add a couple things, and after kind of combine them, I'm going to explain what they will do. So we'll want to go ahead and add subtract right here. Okay, this one subtract will go 1 point to the position. Okay, and next we'll go to the we'll subtract position of the dunes to the position of our clouds. So in this case we know where it's located. Okay, next we also need to take our size. Okay, well, let's go to add multiply right here. Oops. And we want to set this multiplication by minus maybe 0.5 will work for now. We can change this, will make offset size, so we'll work with this one. And now we can take this and connect here. Okay, this will provide us one information on the position. Next we need to go to take this information that we have and divide by the size, so we know precisely where is location. So for this one, let's go to select, create divide. Okay, and we'll take it one value of subtract and we'll divide by the size. Okay, here's things. We have an input UV coordinates on X and Y, and output in exit, and it's coming from vector. So what we need to do, we need a decompressor, put it right here and compress back. So to do this, let's go select one. We'll go to actually select the wrong one, so I need math. We'll go to vector operation. We'll go decompressor 3. So there you go, we connected. Okay, and next we need to take this, and now we need composer set. So let's go back to our functions, vector operation, and we need a 2 because it will be X and Y. And right here you'll notice we connect one. Okay, let's go to select X. Okay, we'll select next one. We'll select Y. And now we can easily connect our composer here. So right here is about all what we need to do for this. So we have our position set. The other things what we want to do, we want to also take this and connect to not just the altitude, we want to take and connect to the height modulation and density. So let's go do this one. We go to create height. Okay, I'll go to select this one and we'll connect to the height. And as well, I will just select on the middle and add a filter. Okay, let's go click OK, and we'll just take also density, connect density, and let's also add a filter between. The filter will help us to set properly density, and you can play around, see what kind of filter will work better, but for now I'm just going with the basic. So I'm going to edit this filter and I'm just add a simple contrast kind of enhanced filter. Okay, and on our density I want inverse, so I don't want right here from this one, so I'm going to edit this filter. Okay, and I'm actually going to inverse and bring this not that as much different, so it's kind of will be create a little bit smoother effect. Okay, the one thing also you'll notice right here when we have it map, the height we want to leave it switch. So I want to make a little bit below, a little bit over the top of the mountains. So we go inside the Photoshop. Let's go duplicate this layer. I want to take this top and just slightly kind of almost blur. So we'll go to filter, blur, we'll go to motion blur. Just see right here we're kind of going over a little bit. Click OK. Let's go set on a soft light. Okay, so we kind of readjusting. Okay, actually the screen probably will work a little bit better in this case. And we can go ahead and save this as separate map. Okay, so we can go inside and load it. The one thing is, you notice we have already one map. So if we copy and paste this with connection, we can actually go inside and preload it our kind of motion blur one. So we'll open, and right here where we have a density, we can just take this and connect directly. Okay, let's go click OK. Okay, next what I want to do for these clouds, let's first preview, and we'll just go take our clouds, bring them down so we can see. A little bit better. Okay, and altitude variation is what will affect it. So let's bring right here. Preview, and you can see we kind of nicely have a nice cover going, like a shape. So it's what going after. The next will be just work a little bit more with the settings here, and we maybe come back and rework some of those maps as well. So let me actually bring this altitude maybe a little bit higher. Again, what I want to cover just slightly right this area. Until here, let's go to modify our color. So I want to add a little bit more sandy kind of look, and we'll take for us ambient color, and I want actually darker sand kind of look ambient color for this. Okay, let me preview very fast what we have. Okay, let me go a little bit rework right here so we can go in the height. Okay, and one thing actually what I need to do here, I forgot to enable a true dimension, so it's kind of will scale a little bit properly. And let's check right here. We have a view unit, so this is all set properly. Okay, that will have a little bit better on a scale for us. Okay, let's go preview. Yeah, you can see it's way better now. So we have it right here. You can see how it's nicely sand start going over right these areas. So it's almost like sand blowing away. Right this area, we can pop up a little bit higher, but overall it's probably what we'll do. The sand will blow a little bit higher and going down. Again, to this effect, we can go inside the Photoshop and you can rework a little bit more on this map, because here's what's happened. You can see we have it kind of adjustment, and you can play with the different properties and settings. For example, you can work with a high pass. Okay, let's actually set first to overlay so we can preview. Let's go to high pass, and of course we can rework a little bit with a high pass adjustment, so it will give it us a little bit more distribution in these areas. And again, create new layer, filter, blur, radial. Actually, I need it, not a tornado. I need to actually create motion blur. There you go. So yeah, we can kind of even leave it more, have it motion on top. Maybe around 250 will work. So this is just a different way to add. Okay, we'll again go ahead and save these ones and reapply as well. Okay, so we can go inside modification on this texture and just replace with slightly different. I think it's this one. Second one. Okay, so we'll just replace. And if we look, that will have a little bit more blowing over. Right here you can just see how it's adjusting. This is just add details. Right here you can see we have it very nice going over. If you think it's too much, you can always reduce, make it thinner layer. Again, the less 100% altitude variation will be almost none. Okay, and the more you move, the thicker layer will be of the cover. So you can see right here we have it way higher kind of layer covering. So it just depends which one you want it. Because I want to create for the sand going closer, so I'm probably will be about 85, maybe closer 87. We can pop up some opacity. Let's preview right here again. And right here we have a very nice clouds going. Okay, just a little bit readjusting. Pop up on details, and let's try add bigger pieces. So I want to see how that will come up, and that little bit kind of dense. So for the sand we maybe want reduce, make smaller pieces. The next things what you want to do, you want set, if you want to animate, you can set direct where it will go and set the velocity. So now when you animate, you will see how your sand will go over. Okay, of course, next what you're going to do, you can go ahead and render this image. For the tutorial, I already rendered this, so let me go open. And right here is actually preview already rendered image. So you can see we have a nice render with those clouds that create this effect of the sand. The more tweaking, you can play around to try to position, rework a little bit with how high you want to do, or with add maybe a little bit turbulence in altitude. So you can do this by going inside atmosphere editor. Right here where we have it altitude offset, you can always add small modification or turbulence, so it will create kind of random effects a little bit. But overall, here's the mostly what I want to do. It's how we created cloud modulations from the scratch, what we applied and what options will affect this. So thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio, and please remember visit us on the web is www.geekatplay.com.